everybody, this is Robbie Parker, and I'm going to be joined by Big D from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, and we're going to be doing a review of the 2015 movie, The Good Dinosaur. So, an epic journey into the world of dinosaurs where a patasaurus named Arlo makes an unlikely human friend. So before I get into my part, I'm going to let Big D do his part, so take it away, Big D.
Hey everyone, this is the Big D, and I'm going to be collabing with Robbie Parker as we talk about Disney and Pixar's other 2015 film, the dramedy adventure flick known as The Good Dinosaur. Now, the film explores an alternate history where non-avian dinosaurs never became extinct, and following a young, timid apatosaurus named Arlo living on a farm with his family who meets an unlikely human friend named Spot. Well, Arlo finds Spot while traveling through a dangerous and mysterious landscape in order to return home after being washed downriver. Now, this was released a few months after Inside Out, but unfortunately this was not quite as successful though as that one was. While I have seen The Good Dinosaur before, but well, this film does have issues though. It does have good animation though, and good score from Michael and Jeff Dannon, which that was pretty decent. Now, the director of the film is Peter Song, who had recently lent his voice to other Disney Pixar films before this, like The Incredibles and Ratatouille. He did a decent job on this. Oh yeah, he also lent his voice to Monsters University as well. The voice acting cast in the film was fine. Raymond Ochoa, I hope I pronounced that right, voices Arlo. He did pretty good. Jack Bright voiced Spot was fine. I did like the performance we got from Sam Elliott as Butch and Anna Paquin as Ramsey. There was also some other pretty big voice actors, including Jeffrey Wright, Francis McDormand, Steve Zahn, Hank Azaria, Alan Tudyk, and a person who's no stranger to working with Disney and Pixar, John Ratzenberger. Well, this film doesn't quite come up to my expectations of other films that took place in the Stone Age in animated form, like, say, The Land Before Time, but this one, it's okay in what have you. This film's unfortunately one of my least favorite Disney Pixar films of all time. This film also ended up being, well, the first ever big box office failure for Disney and Pixar. However, director Peter Song would, however, redeem himself, well, 8 years later with their sleeper hit from 2023, Elemental. While I didn't hate The Good Dinosaur, it's just that it didn't have much to offer in what have you, from my point of view. With its story, well, and that's with its story and what have you, because its storytelling was not considered to be up to Pixar standards. However, its animation and themes, however, were well received, and I appreciate that, and that's one other thing I like, its themes. But its animation, voice acting, cast, and music was perfectly fine. So in the end, The Good Dinosaur is a fine film. And also, I would only recommend this if you are a hardcore completionist of Disney Pixar films, so give this a one-time watch. So, again, thank you for making me a part of this, Robbie, and until our next collab, this is the Big D saying, see ya.
Thank you, Big D. It was great to have you on here as always. I always enjoy having you on here. And I gotta say that this is it's a decent movie. It's not one of my most favorite Pixar movies and everything. Like Big D said, it's not one of their best by any means and everything. And especially if you hold it up to their standards of their quality storytelling and everything, this movie does not have that. But I do think it's okay. Arlo is a likable enough main character. He is great. His adventure is good and everything. He has a fine adventure across the wilderness trying to get home and everything. with this little human boy along for the ride, and it's got some good moments. The animation is stunning and everything. Like the photorealistic backgrounds just look amazing and everything. Like they did a really great job with that. Like technically it looks amazing. The characters' designs are really cartoony, and they sometimes don't mesh well with the backgrounds, but for the most part they look good and everything and stuff. And I kind of like the character designs, even though they don't really fit with the photorealistic backgrounds because they're so cartoony and animated. It's weird and everything, but I like the way they look too at the same time. Michael and Jeff Dana's score is great in here. It fits the movie perfectly, and it's really a beautiful score and everything. That's one of the things I love about this movie is the music and everything in the background and stuff. The voice cast are all good in here too and everything. Got Sam Elliott as this T-Rex, and Steve Zahn is pterodactyl and stuff, and they're good in here. And all the other supporting cast, most of them are people I just don't really remember who holds in here. They're all good in here and everything. And there's some really good moments in here throughout the movie and everything, but especially like friendship moments between Arlo and Spot, which I feel like has been done better in other Pixar movies and stuff. But there are a few parts in here that are fun and everything, like when they eat the berries and they get really, really high and stuff. That shit was funny. As far as negatives go, I'll say that while the story is good, it's not on the same level that you would expect from Pixar. Like, this is not one of their best movies, and coming out the same year as Inside Out, I also think really hurt it too, because we had just had Inside Out like 6 months earlier be one of Pixar's most original and innovative movies of all time, and then this one came out and it was one of their most unoriginal movies and everything. Like, this movie borrows heavily from other movies like The Lion King and The Land Before Time and stuff that you've seen the character lose a parent, have to go on a journey with someone that they don't like and everything. By the end of the story they grow and become friends and stuff. Pixar has done that type of story better many times, including earlier that year with Inside Out, on the story between sadness and joy and stuff. So, like, I feel like the buddy dynamic in this just was not up to par for what you would expect from Pixar and stuff. And it's also kind of predictable and stuff. Like, and the characters get into so many different dangerous situations that you almost just stop caring, because you know they're going to get out of it pretty quickly and stuff too. It's kind of repetitive and stuff too. Arlo's dad dying, instead of showing him dealing with it, they don't really do much with the death of his father. Like, they don't really show him grieving the way other movies do when characters' parents die and stuff like it. Like in Bambi, and well, Bambi kind of just skips over it a lot too. That's what this kind of reminds me of in a lot of ways. Everything, but like, at least with The Lion King and The Land Before Time and stuff, you get time with the characters grieving their parents and stuff. Like, this movie just doesn't do it. It just takes a time skip and everything, and I didn't really like that. And I think the characters are good. Like, Arlo is a likable enough character and stuff, but none of them really stand out. Like Max, I don't really care about him, or really any of the side characters. Arlo is really the only one that I do and everything. So, like, this isn't even like one of the best Pixar movies with as far as characters go either and stuff. So all in all, while I don't think it's a terrible movie or even really a bad movie, like some people I think are harsher on this than they should be, I don't really care for The Good Dinosaur as much. It's one that I like it and stuff, and I like it a little more when I watch it and stuff. But this time when I rewatched it, I just felt like this movie's just okay. It's not one of their most rewatchable ones. It's not one that's a go-to one, but it's one I'd watch if I'm going through Pixar stuff and everything. Aside from that, it's just not one of my favorites and everything. So I'd say I'd give The Good Dinosaur a 6 out of 10. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody. I just want to say thank you for watching this video and everything. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends and get more people going, help the channel grow. I really appreciate it. And thank you all, and have a good day.